it's me again. Again. Only this time, we're still... Hello, and welcome to Arcade Live Investigations. This is Blake, and today we're looking at TemTem. Alright. This is a new series I'm trying out. I thought it'd be interesting to look into investigation and see what you guys think about it. Currently, we should be broadcasting on... Oh, we're still doing gaming. That's okay! Because today I just want to talk about the game. And see how this goes. I haven't had any audience... Well, I haven't had any audience interaction at all lately. Let's see if we can change that. There's definitely plenty here to find, to learn about. So, let's dive into it. What is TemTem? TemTem is a Kickstarter project by Crema Games. Crema? I don't know. It is a Spanish studio. And what's interesting about this game, what caught my eye, is this trailer, which we will go ahead and play for you guys, because what the heck. It is just straight up Pokemon. Is it enough to be legally distinct? I don't know. That's the thing. That's what made me interested. Something else that's really interesting about it is that it is an MMO. That's something that fans have tried before, but I've never seen anybody... I mean, this is the first time a game like this has really been made since 1995, I think. Like, this is just straight up. Look at that! That's literally the thing from the... That's literally how you introduce the people in Gen 7, in the Sun and Moon games. They have evolutions. They're choosing... It looks like they're choosing teams for competitive battle. There's a story mode. The only thing different is that there's multiplayer through the whole game. But other than that, turn-based battles with a type chart and everything. I guess they have a subreddit, which we will probably check that out here later. So this game caught my eye, just based off of the weird... I mean... I don't know if this is going to make it to fruition. I think that it's very likely that that they will get a C&D at some point. Look at this. They've made $500,000 off of this Kickstarter so far, though. So it seems unlikely at this point that they may get shut down. They're listing it for the Switch. So I guess they're distinct enough. But I don't know. TemTem, so I'm going to read the description here to you as soon as I find it. We'll start with, where are we? Every kid dreams about becoming a TemTem tamer, exploring the 6 islands of the airborne archipelago, discovering new species, and making good friends along the way. Now it's your turn to embark on an epic adventure and make those dreams come true. Catch new TemTem on Amnesia's floating islands, battle other tamers in the sandy beaches of Denise, or trade with your friends in Tukmazash-covered fields. Defeat the ever-annoying clan Belsodo and end its plot to rule over the archipelago. And beat all 8 dojo leaders and become the ultimate TemTem tamer.
Stop talking so loud!
The world of the airborne archipelago is filled with creatures named by locals as TemTem. TemTem have always been a part of the day-to-day life on the islands. They live in harmony alongside humans, helping them with your chores and being their loyal and faithful pets. So we have a couple of examples here of these creatures. There's also a long tradition of taming wild TemTem, training them to fight, friendly battles, blah blah blah. We already know that part. Breeding. So this is literally Pokemon. There's a list of types here, from what I know about Pokemon. We got our normal type, fire, water, grass, electric, rock, I imagine psychic, ice, metal, fighting, this could be anything really. I guess that could be flying type. There may not be an ice specific type. It would be weird, I think, for them not to have a flying type, but, you know, whatever. Or a wind type or something. This could be... I guess this could be wind. Could be their version of fairy. We'll just have to look at the type matchups and take a guess. Oh, never mind. It's down here. Neutral and mental. Right, so what's interesting is that mental does not take... That's strange. That's strange to me. Oh, these are the defensive, okay. Well, so that means that it doesn't... that it takes normal damage from normal types, doesn't it? That's what that means? That's weird. I don't like this type chart already. Crystal. What the heck is a crystal? What does that mean? Oh, this is digital. So that is wind. I was right there. Fire, water, nature. They call it nature in this one. Fire resists fire. Fire resists grass. Fire is weak to water. Fire is weak to rock. That makes sense enough. Resists crystal. Expected. Alright. And that's interesting. I guess it's easy to poison water. This would be their poison type, I guess. Digital's a new one, so I'm interested to see how that matches up. So it's strong against mental. It's strong against its own typing. And it's strong against fighting. That's really weird that it's strong against its own typing. And it's weak to electric, and it's weak to water. And it has 1 resistance. It makes it a terrible defensive. I'm not going to go on with the Pokemon talk for too long. Let's move on. The types are obviously pretty different, other than like the basic fire, water, nature. It's got that wheel there. You can see that here. Resist, resist, weak to, resist, resist, weak to, resist, resist. Pretty straightforward there. Form of competition, have 6 on squad. Looks like it does double battles, turn-based, exactly like Pokemon. You can just see it here. Stare makes its defense fall. Wish they'd name it like Stare Down. That makes more sense to me. Lazy Eye. Battles are focused on 2v1 battles, although there will be some 2v1 battles against untamed TemTem, or 1v1 battles with other players. Random factors are being kept out of battles. I don't like that too much, if I'm honest. Part of the strategy in Pokemon is the random element to it. So I wonder what they mean by 100% skill and strategy base. Does that mean that there are moves that have no chance of missing? How are they going to make combat interesting if there aren't chance-based elements to some of the attacks? Are all moves always going to be accurate? Will effects always happen? I don't know. Breeding creates eggs, Here's something that one of my friends pointed out while reading through this. You don't overbreed them because there's a genetic degradation value, so every time you breed, you must... we don't know exactly what this does, but we know that there's a limit to how much you can breed TemTem in this case. Fully fleshed out story campaign, journeying across 6 islands, fighting 8 dojos, and Clan Belsodo. And the other unique aspect, aside from the degradation, appears to be the MMO side of it, where you can just interact with other players in real world, and they have the little TemTems following them. Little creatures chill with strangers. That's fun. Always a good time. How you make friends. Instead of Pokeballs, they have cards. They have cards with their thing inside. I understand that this has a co-op compatible campaign, which is cool. Housing, that's kind of nice. They played around with that with secret bases in Pokemon. But honestly, anything that lets me decorate a room is nice. Character customization, you have to have this to have an MMO. They have a competitive mode. I guess it's a 4v4. Oh, it's going to be like competitive Pokemon. This is a... You choose 10, and then there's a pick and ban. I see. So there's a ban, pick, 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 ban, pick, 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 pick. That's interesting. I guess it's a 4v4 double battle in this case. Unless they also do that for single battles. In competitive Pokemon, usually that's a 3v3 thing. Floating islands, there's a sun in the middle. I guess there's a thing. Yeah, that's kind of weird looking. Weird by, I mean creative, actually. That's kind of neat. Travel airships, becoming the best, ... They can't say the rest of it. We haven't met these guys yet. I want to take a look at them. Look at them. Oh, here we go. Shady and enigmatic. Ba-da-ba-ba. Delusions of grandeur, concealed dangerous skill. Denise an officer. They've got some cool world building in here. I'm just interested to learn more about that. So it's going to be coming out for the Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC for Steam. So that's nice. All major consoles. I wonder if it's going to be cross-compatible. If it's just going to be like a... Since it is treated as an MMO, does that mean that they will be connecting to the TemTem servers? Or will the communities be isolated like they are in Monster Hunter or some of the other games? Minecraft. And they have the tiers here. We don't really care too much about this, but I was told that it goes all the way up to $6,000. Design a TemTem, which is fun. Exclusive in-game title, which is nice. I guess that's pretty easy one early on. Yeah, you have to pay $100. Okay, that's still a lot. Printed cloth map, though, that's pretty cool. So it's a wall scroll. The default TemTem trainer, and I guess they're using this guy as a mascot for now. It's hard to choose your mascot before the game is even out, though. They said Kinu. So egg, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Or basic, I guess. And it looks like they've reached all of their goals. The adventure begins. $70. Is that 70,000? I guess that's the minimum they were expecting to complete the game. There's a Nuzlocke game mode. For those of you who are not familiar, Nuzlocks are a type of gaming, or way you play Pokemon. It's something you do to make the game more difficult for yourself. You treat your Pokemon as though they are dead when they're fainted, and you no longer have the ability to use them. You can also only catch one Pokemon per area. I imagine this probably will translate pretty directly into this game, since it doesn't seem that different from Pokemon. When they say stronger bonds with your TemTem, I wonder if that means that you get some kind of buff for keeping the same one for a while. We don't really know the full extent of this stuff. An arcade bar. That's good. Pokemon's been straying away from minigames, and it's made me sad. They used to have casinos, and I liked the casinos. I liked Gen 2's casino. I liked Stole Silver. I liked the card flip. I don't know why that didn't come back in later games, because that game was fun. I didn't like, and I liked the cooking mini games too. Specifically, Generation 4 had the little poffins that you cooked. That was fun. Making poffins was fun. I enjoyed it. Mythical TemTem, so I guess that means their version of a legendary with a special thing. It's going to be like a Delta episode type thing, I bet. Mounts. That's pretty cool. 250,000. They're saying it will be available on Nintendo Switch. It sounds like they're going to make it for the Switch, but they haven't been approved yet, I bet. They're probably way too early in development to talk about things like that. Why is the replay system at $280,000? What's the point of having a competitive battle system if you cannot save your gameplay and share it with your friends? I don't know why it's so expensive, but it's in there now. Okay, so they have an MMO. They weren't planning on putting in guilds until they reached 400,000? That's absurd. In-game tournament. If you're trying to make something competitive, you have to have tournaments. You can't tell people you're not going to have tournaments. These should be switched up. Nintendo Switch should be the 500K one. All the rest of this should be... This, like, guilds and in-game tournaments should be bare minimum. Oh, I remember that we were talking about this a little while ago. Pig-a-Pig plushie. They haven't found their net mascot yet. That is cute, though. You can get a sticker pack, a plushie. I guess you can buy the map outside of paying tiers, and you can buy the statue outside of tiers, which is nice. But I think it takes away from the, how special it is to be a backer for things like this. Here's what I was really interested is about Kremos. I don't know these people very well. And we will reference this later when we look at their stuff, when we look them up. Mainly I'm interested in the game director, the art director, lead programmer. I want to see if any of these guys are from any of the other Pokemon MMOs, or if they have any experience with making a Pokemon game. That's the thing I want to find out. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so they have a timeline. That's good. So we can expect it to come out sometime in 2021, based on this. Oh, there's going to be an alpha starting in 2018. If the release isn't planned until 2020, isn't 2018 a little early? When was this Kickstarter? I must have missed that. It doesn't say anywhere. How do you find out? Was August 2017 the start of this? If so, this is older than I thought. I don't know why I'm just now hearing about it. So I guess you can pre-order the game. Steam key only for Windows, Mac, Linux probably won't happen. Blah blah blah. This is nice. Feature cross save, physical release. There's not a single indication that's going to happen with their registered Nintendo developers. We've released the game on the Switch. I guess that's true. I don't know if I would call Brawlout a direct rip from Smash Bros. Definitely not Jump Ultimate Stars. I mean, yeah, it's kind of Smash-like, but I don't know about that, man. Advance Wars is not a major moneymaker, and this isn't really about Nintendo. This is about Game Freak. The Pokemon Company is, yeah. So they address that there. Alright, we'll just have to see what happens with that. I pulled up this. We probably won't need it. Let's look at their website. So, Crema is a developer who has made a couple of different names. I've not played any of these or heard of any of these, except Instant Buttons, which I have installed on my phone. Although I may have recently uninstalled it, I don't remember. Point is, I'm not super familiar with these guys. About damn time you joined the Resistance. Alright. Something edgy. It says Daft Punk there. Okay. It looks like this is a endless runner. Is this Daft Punk? Oh, Drift Punk. There we go. It seems kind of neat. Not really my style. Rest of these, let's see, they said they produced, this one, Immortal Redneck. That is a weird looking game. Okay, so maybe this will come out after all. They also have a press kit here formed in 2009, co-incorporated in 2012 when it shifted its focus to making mobile games. Critically... Okay, that's probably why I don't know them. I don't really play a lot of mobile games. I find that every time I get one, I'm like, oh boy, new mobile game. This is going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. And then just go, oh, I never play it. Instant Buttons is the only one product I have that's theirs. They still update it, though, so that's nice. Either way, seems like they're pretty well liked. I'd click to Facebook, but I'm logged in currently. I don't want to give away that type of information. Yeah, Instant Buttons, I have that. Crema Games, here they have a Twitter. I don't think we were really going to get much from them here. So because they have a new job artists, or a job opening for people who have experience creating 3D models and textures, which is neat. They're showing off some of these guys, and they're putting a little bit, I guess you could call them Pokedex entries. These really are cute, but they're kind of like 2017 style things. They remind me of like stuff you'd see on Adventure Time or things like that. You know, just things that look cute as heck. Ooblets is doing something similar, except all of theirs are plants. Ooblets is better, by the way. There's no reason to compare them here. It's fine. This game's not going to come out until way after that game. So. Madrid. I also wanted to compare it to some other ones, but I guess we don't need to do that anymore now that we've read through the press kit. But I figured it'd be fun to compare them. The main draw here is that it's Pokemon but MMO, which is something people have been asking for a very long time. Thing is, these have existed, not legally, but they exist. Most of these I haven't heard of, but they exist out there. And then there's Pokemon MMO 3D, which, I don't know, I looked at it, it didn't look that impressive to me, but if these types of things appeal to you, you can try out the concept here. I did many years ago with, I believe it was Pokemon, this one, Pokemon World Online, which was the first one, really, in a way, that came out. You can see in the screenshots here, it looks like a Game Boy Advance game. That's because it's more or less what it was. The art assets and sound, there was a big disparity there. They were obviously trying to build their own assets to avoid Nintendo, but they're using art assets from Nintendo still. Even if they're making it themselves, it's still obviously Pokemon. They're using the name Pokemon. You still got your Pikachus and your Pidgeys. Other than that, it's just Pokemon, but it's an MMO. You play through the story of Fire Red, and you run around. There's other trainers running around. It made me realize that this kind of thing is possible. If you've ever played Wakfu, it's kind of like that. You'll see that there are people in battles, and you can watch their battles if you so choose, but their battles don't interact with the world in a meaningful way. It's just there's a bunch of other people running around and doing Pokemon and spamming the chat. So that's what that's like. This one's gonna be more involved though. This one actually did have a character creation. There were items you could buy, and I guess they have little Pokemans that can follow you around now. So that's nice. Most of these I'm familiar with. Pro. Pokemon Revolution Online. Okay. I wonder if that was on purpose. 'Cause that's pretty blatant. Of them to do something like that. That was interesting. Will it come crashing down? Now that I've read through it, they seem confident it won't. I have doubts, But if they think they can get out for the Switch, then good for them. I'm just gonna scroll through this article real quick, see if anything I haven't talked about yet. Rare legendary birds, apparently they hint at. Leaning towards co-op, which we already knew. The battles look really nice. I like the art style, but it's kind of again, it's kind of like modern contemporary, or modern, I guess you could say modern alt art style. It's the kind of color palette you get from shows like Bee and Puppy Cat. Not that that's a bad thing per se, but it's just, I think it kind of, it may end up dating it, is all I'm saying. It's very like a modern style. You see popping up and things like that, and noublets and so on, right? It's not, I don't know, I just don't feel like maybe it makes it its own, or we'll see. Growing up playing Pokemon, best part of my childhood. Who wants to do that? Valkyria Chronicles 4, blah blah blah. Okay, so we're at the end of the article. Alright, so that's TemTem. A Pokemon like I've never before seen. Its own original content to the degree of something like Pokemon Uranium, but without using Pokemon, which is really risky from a business standpoint. I guess making a Pokemon clone is risky from a business standpoint anyway. But they're making a Pokemon game that's competing with Pokemon on Pokemon's home console. So this will be interesting. I mean, obviously it'll be on PC and everything else, and that's a place where Game Freak is not able to do anything, compete in those circles. And if it's on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, that's probably going to be people who play it. Switch, they have actual Pokemon. They don't get the MMO experience though. I'm interested in watching the progress. They said that the open beta will be available later this year. What time do they say? September? September on that timeline. Was it? Here we are. Oh, okay, June 2018 was the Kickstarter. So they started development a year ago. This Kickstarter just ended last month, I imagine, if it's a 30-day Kickstarter. So this is a pretty quick timeline for an alpha. This is probably going to be like vertical slices, like what not No Man's Sky, the other one, Star Citizen. There we are. So it's Star Citizen too. Did blah. It's going to be alpha content modules, is my guess. And I don't really think that you can do a strict timeline on alpha content that easily, especially since you're trying to get feedback. This is why alphas really shouldn't be public. But, you know, that's fine. November 2018, it looks like it's only alpha hero backers. And then they're going to launch an early access in 2019, and then the final release is 2020. I'm still not entirely sure how an early access... They should classify it as a beta if they don't want people going all like, oh, but the game's out. You know, there's a lot of problems with early accesses as far as games are concerned. You know, people don't usually go back and check up on old games that have been out on early access for a while. I think it hurts Slime Rancher a lot, for example. You come in early, there's not a lot of content, and you leave, like what I did. There's no reason to stick around. Oh well, point is, I'm excited to see where this goes. I will keep an eye out for it. I am interested in its story. I don't mean the game story, I mean the development story. So that's something to keep an eye on. I think that's all I really can say about it right now. I was going to look into the people who made this game, but it sounds like I've already gotten all the information I need for that kind of thing. I don't really need to look any further into Pokemon MMOs or see if they have any experience making non-Pokemon games or any Pokemon clones. What's really interesting about this is that it's kind of unprecedented. There was a game about robots back in 1995 that I found out about that released on the Game Boy. That was basically it was Pokemon with robots. It was Red and Blue with robots. And if you can believe it, buggier than Red and Blue were. That said, yeah, this is really the first time. There have been a lot of games that have Pokemon-esque mechanics. Ooblets is going to be coming out here soon, and that's about as similar as it gets. You also have games like, I don't know, Monster Rancher, where you raise and train monsters, and you can make them battle. You have Digimon games, which really aren't that similar to Pokemon, but they get compared to it because of the way, it's virtual pets, and there's a lot of them. But nothing has ever gotten this close to being a Pokemon clone. At least not in any sort of major release, or at least not as far as I know. Maybe there's some weird indie game or some obscure C-list title on, like, I don't know, the GameCube or something that I've never heard of. I could see that. If you guys know anything, tell me about it. Or, if you don't know anything, feel free to leave a comment anyway. Or, just talk to me. Leave a like, subscribe, tell your friends. Tell me how this little project went. Tell me if you want to do something like this next time. Anyway, we've been going for about a half hour, 40 minutes almost. That's a good place to stop. Alright.